Hello guys, welcome back to the channel again. Today we will solve the 14th question of June lead code challenge. So the question is cheapest flight with K stops. What we have given some flights, their starting position, their destination and their cost. And we have given a value K. K is for that we have we must take K is for the number of stops. Suppose if K is 1, we must require to take 1 stop. SRC for the starting index and DST for the ending index or the ending destination. So what we have to do is we have to find the minimum price in which I can travel from source to destination with K stops. First of all, we will understand the question properly. So what first we have given some flights. So at each index we have three values. Zeroth value represents the starting point, second value of the first index represents the ending or the destination point, and the last represents their prices. So we have in this question we have three flights. Now SRC represents the starting point from where we have to start, and DST represents the destination or the ending point, where K represents the number of stops we require to traverse or to reach from source to destination. So this is the graph for these flights. Now what we have to do, we have to go from here to here. There are two paths. First path is from 0 to 1 to 2, and second is from 0 to direct 2. But we required one stop. In this direct path we do not have any stops, whereas in this we have one stop. So we will choose this path. So before going into the coding part, first we will discuss the approach what we are going to do. Now in the starting I will construct a cost array. A 2D array will be constructed because it is a directional part. So for this I will construct a 3x3 matrix in this example because we have three stops 0 1 2. So for every I will construct 0. After construction the matrix or the array will look like this. Now what I will do, I will replace the prices by of these indexes of 0, 1 by 100, 1, 2 by 100, 0, 2 by 500. So I will replace these values. So here it will come 100, here it will come 200, and here it will come 500. So the prices array will look like something this. So this is our prices array. Now after this I will construct an array minimum price array in which I will initialize the array with 0, and I will store n values in it. N will be 3 in this case. Now at end I will update these values and put some values according to this Q, which will store two things. First the current position, and second current price. Current position and second current price. So two things it will store. Initially I will initialize these both with 0 again. As soon we will go into the code, then we will append all the values or all the things into it. After this I will iterate over this. Now I will run the loop k plus 2 times. So the loop will run k plus 2 times, k plus 1 time, sorry, because k is 1. So in this case it will run 2 times. Now after this I'll do some steps with these values, and then at the end I will calculate these values. So first I will initialize all these values. Now after that what I will do, I will minimize all the values in this minimum index. For how many values I will run? I will run for, suppose, starting index from 0 to 0. So first of all I will use this Q. I will store two values. I will store current position which will be 0. I see in this code this q, so it will be 0. Then I will see current price. So current price is 0. So after initializing these both values, I will run a loop from I equals to 0 to n, and I will use one more index, which is current position. This part, the current position will be used, and this I will be used. Now what first of all I will do after going into the loop, first condition which I am going to check is, I am going to check that if the current position, suppose in this current position is 0 and this I is also equals to 0. Now I will find the index from this. If it is equals to 0, then I will not run the current loop and I will use a continue keyword to skip all the operations. Else what I will do, suppose this is 1, suppose. Now for 1 it is minimum, for 1 here it is 100. So for 100 I will do some stuffs, and then at the end here what you will see, here you will see somewhat 100, 10, and here in the queue you will enter some more things, 1 comma the value which is current value, and some more things, suppose 2 comma 100, and something like this will be entered in the queue. For this we will see our code. So this is the code which we are going to use. Now first of all here I have initialized flight info, which will store the prices. So first of all we will do that thing. So here I am initializing flight info n cross n. So this is the flight info. So all the values will be initially initialized with 0. It will be a 3 cross 3 matrix because n equals to 3. Now when we will traverse from to 2, the 3 values will be appended, or 3 values will be updated. So the first value which will be updated will be this 100, second will be 500, and the third value is again 100. So these 3 values will be updated after running this loop. Now our first work is complete. I have initialized the flight info part and the prices part. So after doing this part, I will initialize a result which will store the final answer. Initially I will store a big value. Now after that I will create a vector which will store the smallest price till now which we have got for every particular k stops. Now it will be, so the size will be of n because we have n different paths or n different positions where we can go. So now after that I will initialize a queue which will store 2 things. First, the current position, and second, current price. So initially I will initialize it with the starting index and 0. In this case starting index is also 0, so I will initialize it with 0, 0. Now after this I will initialize a stop. Now what stop is doing is, doing nothing. It is just running the loop, just k plus 1 time. Suppose k is 1, so the loop will run 2 times. So in this case, so the loop will run 2 times. So we will write stop equals to 0 initially. So the first condition will be compared. Stop is less than or equals to k. So k is 1. So stop is less than k. So the condition becomes true. Now count will be initialized. Count will be equals to 1. If count is 0, then the loop will not run. Now again we will check the condition. If count is greater than 0, so in this case count is 1. Now count will be decremented as soon as it is entered in the loop. So now count will be 0. Now after this the queue will be popped the value. So we will pop the value and we will store these two values in our current position. So the current position value will be 0 and the current price will also be 0. So now I will run the main loop which will do everything in this code and this stuff. Now after this I will initialize I equals to 0 and now condition will be compared if I is less than n. So in this condition n equals to 3 and I equals to 0, so condition becomes true. Now as soon as it enters in the loop, the first condition it check is this, that I equals to s current src, means if the value of I is current src, then it will not do anything, because in this situation the destination as well as the starting point is same, so we don't have to do that thing. So mainly what I is pointing the destination where we have to go. So in this case, if I equals to 0, so in this case I equals to 0 and current position is also equals to 0, so the loop will not run and the condition becomes true here. So it will continue and then next iteration will be occurred. Now here I will be equals to 1, so 1 is not equals to 0. Now second condition will be compared, because here or operator is there. So second condition is that if the flight info index, suppose in this case if 0, 1, this is the second condition, that if the indexes of 0, 1 is equals to 0. Now here it is 100, so the condition will not become true, so both the condition is false, so it will not go into this part. Now what is the next step? A value is initialized which is next price. Now what is this stuff doing? This is just stopping the iteration when the current position and the destination is same. So this if condition is doing this part. Now I will update this small values of this price. Now net price will be current price, which is 0, plus the price of the flight, so it will be 100. So after this what I will do, I will check that if it is equals to 0 or this value net price is less than, so net price will be 100. Now what I will check that if small price is equals to 0, so in this case it is equals to 0. So this, if what it is doing, that if this price is greater than the net price of index, then it will change its value. So in this case the I is equals to 1, so small piece 1 index will be equals to 0. So now the value will be upgraded and the value will be turned to be here 100. Now after that the result will be checked. Now if I is equals to dst, so in this case I equals to 1 whereas dst equals to 2, so the condition becomes false and nothing will be upgraded. But before that I am pushing this current status. I am pushing this current status into queue. So what will be pushed? The value pushed will be I comma net price. So in this case I equals to 1 and net price is equals to 100. So this will be pushed back into the queue. So what will be the thing? Now I will upgrade a queue. So queue will be upgraded. Now the first iteration of this loop becomes executed. Now after this whole thing happens. Now stop will be upgraded. Now stop will be upgraded, but before that the loop will run again one more time. So I will be equals to 2, net price will be, now again the condition compared, that if I equals to src, so here I equals to 2 and current position is equals to 0, so nothing will happen in this code. So now next price will be calculated. So next price is here 500, because 5 current price is 0, so current price plus flight info, which is 500, will be done. Then we will check that if small price, this value is 0, so in this case it is 0, so I will update it as 500. Now what will happen, now after this I will be checked that I equals to dst, so it is equals to, so here I equals to 2 as well as dst also equals to 2. So so result will be updated. So what will be the result? So the result will be here, the minimum of result comma next price. So next price is here 500, so 500 will be upgraded. Now after this what will happen, now again the iteration will occur. Before that stop will be incremented 1. Now condition check that if stop is less than or equals to k, in this case stop is equals to k, so this is the last iteration. So before that count will be incremented, count will be incremented by 2. So the current position what will be, so first of all in queue we have 2 elements, 2,500 and 1,500. So before, so first 2,500 will be popped. So for 2,5 the current position is 2 and the price is 500. Now if we will iterate over all the values is here 0. So at every condition or at every loop this condition becomes true and nothing will happen with net price or current price and anything. So till now what happened, this q value will be popped and the value remain will be 1,100. Now count will be decremented by 1, so before it was decremented, so now the value will be 0. Now current position will be 100 and current price will be 100. Now I will iterate over from 0 to 3. For 0 this condition becomes true, because at 0 this is 0. Now for I equals to 1, again this condition becomes true because I equals to 1, so stop is all, sorry, the condition here also becomes true because I equals to 1 as well as the current position is also equals to 1. So this condition becomes true and the rest of part will not run and the loop will again run. So here it will come 2. So for 2 this is also false and this is also false, so the main part runs. Now next will be initialized, so next price will be current price, which is 100, plus the current price of this index and I, so it will be 100, so combinedly it will be 200. Now after this what will be done there, it will be checked that this value, this third index is greater than this value. So in this case it is greater, so 500 is greater than 200, so it will be updated as 200. So here it will come 200. And now what will happen, now the result will be checked. Before that q will be pushed and here it will come 2,200. Now the result will be checked, that the result will be updated again because result is, because I equals to dst, because I equals to dst, so here we will update the result by 200. So the result will be updated by 200 and then the stop will be incremented by 2. So before now stop will be incremented by 2. Now the condition which is stop should be less than or equals to k, which become false, and the loop will be terminated. So till now what we have, main things, now we have result as 200. Now we will check that if, now we will check a condition that if result equals to result is equals to the initial value which we will declare some high value, then we will return -1, else we will return the answer. Else we will return the answer or the result. So in this case, what will be the answer? Answer will be 200. So in this case, what will be the answer? So the answer will be 200. So what we have seen this code. So this is very simplified code, and it is using both DP as well as heap and a bit of BFS also. So we are using all the three things: breadth first search, heap, and dynamic programming also. So all the three concepts are used here. So this is a very simple or a bit medium question of graph in which dynamic programming and heap both are using. Now if I submit the question, so I have submitted the question. So I have here used the ternary operator here, result, where if the result is equals to this, then it will return -1, else it will return a result. Now if I see more details, it is faster than 95% of the submissions, so it is very fast. Thank you guys. For more such content, like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe.